transition defense. Yeah, I think on paper, I think they had him for 20. We had him for 30. We gave him 5 coast-to-coast drives. That's where LeBron was most effective. And that wasn't off turnovers. We only had 12 turnovers, but off of rebounds after made shots, just not getting back, not stopping the ball, not loading to the ball. And our half-court defense was pretty good. Can be better, but our transition defense was not where it needed to be. And the second thing that stood out was the rebounding. Far too much ball watching for us. Austin Reeves had 4 boards. Hachimura and Reddish had 2 each. We have a bad habit right now when the shot is taken. We are watching the flight of the ball instead of finding a body and hitting someone and then pursuing. And we addressed and worked on both those things today.
We've talked about this before, but when you're running a switching scheme defensively, how much pressure does that put on the rebounding specifically, especially when your center is out on the perimeter?
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about gang rebounding, and that means all 5 on the floor. Even in a starting unit, we're not switching with Nikola, but I think Jamal had 2 rebounds. I think KCP had 1 rebound. We need all 5 on the glass. And second unit, when we are doing a lot more switching, to your point, we have to make sure that all 5 are active and rebounding and not leaking out. I think Reggie had 3, Christian had 3, but Payton and Zeke can't have a combined 0 rebounds as a backup 4 and 5. And being out on the floor is no excuse. Everybody's got to get back in the fight and make sure we rebound before we run. What's that?
What did you think of what you saw from the second unit?
Yeah, I thought you saw some positives and you saw some areas where we have to be better. I felt the first stint in the first half, Katie, was they did a pretty good job. Closed the first half strong, did a good job in that second quarter. I felt in that fourth quarter, I don't think we were as organized as we should be. So we got into a little bit too much random offense. And then defensively, because we are undersized, that team's got to have a great fly-around mentality, gang rebound, and get out and run and play with an attack-aggressive mindset. So some good things, and I think the more they play together, they're going to continue to get better and create that on-court chemistry.
What's the most important thing you guys can do against Desmond Bane? It seems like he's got more opportunity without Ja out there.
Well, watching him, he's such an impressive player. Strong, in transition. He's a very aggressive driver, coast to coast. If you don't pick him up high, he's going to shoot the pull-up 3 from literally like 40 feet. He's got deep range. They run catch and shoot plays for him, so you got to make sure you're taking away his airspace and limit his separation. And if you want to guard any good player in this league, you got to make him feel you. Most importantly, you got to be aggressive, be physical, make him feel you, and limit his separation. But it definitely starts in transition.
That fly-around mentality that you just talked about, is that what made you want to go with Payton, with that group, with that second unit group? Because you had a lot of options of guys you could go to there.
I did. And, I met with Payton the other day, and I told him that I felt that he came into this season assuming he was going to get back in minutes. And I said, don't ever assume anything. You got to earn what you get. He has tremendous potential. He's got upside. He can do things that a lot of guys on our team can't do because of his natural God-given abilities. But I don't want him skipping steps. I'm going to be really hard on Payton Watson because if he's going to be the player that we all need him to be, I have to make sure I'm demanding greatness from him every single day. So I told him, I'm going to give you those minutes to start the season. Now it's up to you to keep those minutes. And this is not, like I said, it's not Halloween coming up. I'm not handing out king-size candy bars to make everybody happy. He's got to earn those minutes. But length, athleticism, activity, he might get beat on a play, but he has the ability to get back into a play. He had a great block in the paint against D'Angelo Russell the other night. So I want Payton Watson to be a great player. I really do. And we have to make sure he's doing what he needs to do every single day.
How do you feel he's responding to that tough love?
I think he's doing a great job. I think he appreciates it. I think he knows that if I'm not doing that, that means I've given up on him or I really don't care about him. And that's never going to be the case. I mean, he's a young player. He barely played at UCLA, barely played last year. When he did get a chance to play last year, he showed signs of wow. And I want those signs of wow to be consistent every single night. And to do that, you have to play hard. I didn't talk to him once about his field goal percentage, his three-point percentage, his free throw percentage. I talked to him about having 0 defensive rebounds in 32 minutes at the Clippers. I talked to him about having 6 UBs in one game where he's not sprinting back in transition. Control the controllables, work your butt off, and if he does those things, he has all the ability, all the potential in the world to be a guy that's going to help us win a lot of games.
Speaking of flying around, Mike was all over the place against the Lakers. What does it say just to his determination for all he's been through to get to a point where he's able to do as much as he is physically, but B, just how hard he's worked to become a more all-around player?
Well, I give him credit because he's fully bought into being a guy that knows he has to help us on both ends. We talk all the time. He's not a specialist. He's not just a shooter. He didn't shoot the ball well against the Lakers. He had 12 rebounds. He had a big defensive stop in the fourth quarter just by using his length. And there were countless examples last year where both offensively and defensively, he's matured and he's shown that he's willing to do what it takes to sacrifice for the betterment of the team. And that's what all of our guys do. And Michael's going to do that again this year. It was such an impact on that group winning a championship last year, and proud of him. But I don't want everybody being like, wow, Michael played hard tonight. That should be a given. That should be a constant that we demand from each and every one of our players.
Do you think there's anything that's clicked for him a little bit defensively, really even since the start of the playoffs?
I think just, really fully understanding what we're trying to do, what our game plan is, being disciplined within that. So I think that's a great starting point. And then after you have that discipline, just making sure you're giving the proper effort. Like you can tell, like Michael Porter cares and is trying on the defensive end of the floor. He's using that 7-foot wingspan, whatever he has, and the 6'10" frame that he has to be disruptive and to get deflections and to block shots and to clean up the defensive glass. The shot's gonna come. He didn't play any preseason games. He's finding his game rhythm. His ankle, he's still dealing with the swollen ankle, but I don't worry about the jump shot. I'm just happy to see Michael going out there and playing as hard as he is in all facets of the game.
Coach, you've used the word responsibility before in terms of carrying yourself like a champion and like a championship team, going on the road for the first time in front of a different fan base. What does that look like, maybe from their perspective?
Well, yeah, as I reminded our guys today, we had the second best road record in the league last year, 34-7, I believe. We want to stay in that area. We want to be a team that can go on the road, win games in any arena in this league. And it starts tomorrow night in Memphis. It continues after that. But I had to stop practice today to remind guys, listen, yesterday was a light day, mental day, cleanup day, film. We got to get better today. Our standard of excellence, if we truly want to be a championship team, we can't just come out here and go hard but not hard enough. Be serious but not be serious enough. Be responsible but not be responsible enough. And once I called them out, they definitely picked it up and understood how we have to operate every single day. Because even though the Memphis Grizzlies have a lot of injuries, they have Ja Morant out with suspension right now, they lost last night. They had the best home record in the league last year, and we know we're going to get a great effort. So we have to prepare to win tomorrow night, today. And I think our guys flipped the script and we did wind up having a pretty good practice.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.